Hey,
Hello.
Melissa,
Yes,
we had an eclipse this morning.
I know he did. Slept right through it because I
I,
was up half the night.
I was awake for it and went like looking for something on the internet that was like eclipse related and then realized, wait, it's happening right now. And I was like all in my YouTube. And so I got to like go to all the places that watch eclipses happening live wherever they are in the
Mhm.
world. And I was like, oh, I got it. I have my eclipse. I have my eclipse.
You should have texted.
Gosh.
I was like, "Zzz." I went to bed really early and then just popped awake.
I tend to not need a lot of sleep around the exact eclipse timing, but in
Mhm.
the days before, I sleep like a bear. I'm like just 20 hours I'm sleeping.
Hibernator.
I'm a little bit of hibernator. I go, how is it possible that I didn't even need to move for 20 hours? That makes no sense. It's like, eh,
Because you just didn't.
sometimes I'm like that. Oh, I'm just realizing, I'm like, what is on my shoulder? It's my dog's toy. Like, I was like, what's on me? What's on me?
Not a thing, not a
Not a thing.
thing.
Not a thing. Um, we're meeting up today, first of all, because I miss you.
I
And
know.
also because my cousin Joni, big fan, she loves it when we hang out. Joni, Melissa said we need to have you on
I
next time.
know.
So
Come on, Joni.
get ready. Joan, you want to talk about three Southern girls hanging out? That's what that would be. My cousin Joni, MCJ, texted me and said, I'm curious about how astrology connects within families. Like in mine, I always think it's interesting how dad's an Aries and my moon is in Aries, while mom's a Cancer and my brother's moon is in Cancer. So, not really a specific question, but it intrigued me. And I said, that's a thing. Family patterns and people being born with like sometimes exact conjunctions
Mhm.
or configurations of the big three
Mhm.
or some like everybody in my family is a something that happens. And
Mhm.
it got me thinking that would be a fun thing to talk about. So when I got that text from Joni, I texted you, Melissa, and said, what do you think? And Melissa's like, let me tell you how big a thing. Because I think everybody, when they start looking at their family's charts,
Mhm.
starts noticing,
Yeah.
wow, I can't. My mom could not get away from water signs. So my mom, let me, I'm gonna do some share screen,
Okay.
and then we're gonna come back to, let me go some, let's go. My mom, right here, big Earth, big fire. So
Mhm.
that's a Leo rising and a little South Node, Mars, Neptune, Jupiter in Virgo, and then Moon over here in Sagittarius, big fire.
Mhm.
Saturn Aquarius domicile, North Node Pisces, Pluto over here in Cancer. So very little water.
Oh,
Uranus, Aries, and then look at all this Mercury, Sun, midheaven, Venus, Chiron, all in Taurus. So not a lot of water, but
so
she's,
she only has one water placement and one air placement.
yeah, as far as planets go,
Yes, yes, as far as the ones
that's right.
we are notable to
That's
us.
right. It's all fire and earth for my mom.
Wow.
And she was born to a Pisces mom, Cancer dad. Then she was followed very quickly by her sister, Cancer. This is my cousin's mom. So we're going to be talking about her again, Maxine. So just go ahead and know Maxine. We're going to be talking about Maxine, my mom's sister, Maxine, Cancer. And my mom and Maxine's brother, the baby brother, also Cancer. So, like, mom could not escape all the water that's missing in her chart in her household.
Mhm.
So she books out of there and marries her high school sweetheart like right after she turns 19. Like she graduates from high school, boom, married like 3 months later. Marries my dad, Libra, lots of air. So she's like, okay, I'm out. First kid, Scorpio. second kid, Gemini. So she's like, okay, that first kid's just a thing. Oh, by the way, at this point, she knows nothing about astrology. So she's not tracking this at this point. Then the oopsie baby's born 18 years later, after 18 years after her first baby. And that's me. And it's all the water as well as all the air, but all the water. And so mom could not escape water in her family that she created because she made two kids with lots of water. And then as she's studying astrology, she's noticing that I was born during her nodal return, which means not only are we bringing all the water to the little place in her chart that has it, but I am also sharing that North Node journey with her in that North Node in Pisces, because I was born during her nodal return. And then also Saturn was on her sun when I was born. And that means in my life, Saturn represents mom because she died when I was younger. And the sun in Saturn in my 8th house is a really good representation of my mom's energy in a house where the ancestors like to hang out. And also that structure of astrology that my mom represents in the 8th house, which is where for me the astrology pursuit would be, really tracks. So I want to know though what some of yours are, Melissa, because when you started texting me after Joni set us down the rabbit hole with this, you were like, and then this one, and then this one, and then this one, and not just birthdays, also other events.
Yeah. Death dates.
Death dates.
Yeah, so many. Okay. So I started looking at astrology however many years ago and I knew that my mom was Cancer sun and that my brother Pisces. Um, my sister and I didn't know really anything about, rising sign, anything like that. And that my dad was Libra sun. And so when I started exploring it, I realized my mom has got like a clown car in Cancer.
And you gave me her birth info. So let's look at this clown car you're describing because you're not wrong.
I'm not right. It's not even a car, a clown boat.
It's a boat, right? Because of all the water.
Look
Okay.
at all that.
So what we're looking at here is Cancer rising, Saturn in Cancer, Mercury in Cancer, Sun in Cancer. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a Kazemi.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Hold.
Venus in Cancer.
Oh,
Put the
wow.
glasses. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Did you not notice that? That's within 5 minutes. That's a Kazemi, babe.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And
Well,
then
then also Venus is,
Venus Cancer,
yeah.
and then North Node Cancer, North Node Cancer, and Moon. That's where I got the noon. Moon over here in Scorpio. Oof, that's not a happy moon.
Oh my gosh. My moon is exactly opposite hers. Same degree.
Okay, wait. All right, wait. All right, so let's now pop in. Let's pop in Melissa here, and then Mom here. Let's go, Mom. So what we're doing, y'all both Cancer rising. So this doesn't change your mom's houses at all, which is great.
No, it does not.
But let's see. Oh my God, you were born during your mom's Mars return. Look at that. Did you know that?
I knew, well, I didn't consider it in that way, but I was like, oh, look, her Mars is basically right on top of mine.
There is.
It is the Mars return. Yes.
Like she was coming up on her Mars return when you went, hey, world. Okay. And you're right. Your moons oppose one another. Like exactly. Like seriously, within what's that? 13 minutes, 14 minutes? Oh my God.
14.
Oh. Okay, so what we've done is, for anyone who doesn't know how the software works, we've got Melissa in the center and we put her mom on the outside like a shower cap. And then we can flip that if we want to see more likely what were the transits like while Melissa's mom was in labor. And this is where we get Melissa as the shower cap on Melissa's mom. Look at those opposing moons. How did that dynamic play out in your needs getting met? moon wise? Because that's what the moon
Well,
represents.
I can tell you it is emotional. She wasn't emotional, like overtly emotional at all. It was all very sub, not Terranean, but sub, what's the word? It was a little bit like a submarine. She was under, she was not, she didn't want people to see her cry or any of that. And she was very caretaking, nurturing,
Sure.
but a little difficult to not connect with, but it was all caretaking and not like connection.
Yeah. Well, so that to me is that Saturn right on top of her ascendant, because Saturn in the first house already says the stuff that goes on in the first house, we're going to need to lock it down.
Hmm.
And the first house is our self expression, it's our physical body, it is our personality. And so a Cancer first house tends to be pretty emotional and usually kind of nervous and very aware, acutely aware of other people's emotions because they really do infuse the body of the person with the Cancer rising, which of course because you feel it. Your gut is never wrong about emotions and what energy somebody's packing when they come into your space,
Right,
right?
right.
But to have Saturn there, it's like you've got a doorman and it says, we'll let the emotions come in for you to read, Melissa's
Yeah,
mom, but you're going to need to not let your emotions out.
that's right. And born in the 1940s,
Sure.
there's wasn't time, and her mom. We can look up one if you care to, but
Tell me about that. Cause like you notice the water goes,
it's everywhere, Bonnie. What I noted most of all is water, water everywhere. And then I've kind of poo-pooed the whole Leo thing because I know, statistically speaking, more children seem to, I don't know, like birth-wise, I think there are a lot of babies born during Leo season. Is that not correct?
I think it's pretty well spread out among the 12
Oh, okay.
signs. I think that we hear from Leos more because Leo.
So what I've got is a lot of Pisces, a lot of Cancer, and so many Leos, like almost all, like clustered together. Two of my cousins have birthdays on the same exact date. One has a birthday before mine. My sister's 4 days after, although she's Virgo. But so many Leos, so many Leos. And then probably in my real time, like my lifetime, a lot of Cancer people and some Scorpio moon. Um, Ancestrally, I mean, Pisces, Pisces, Pisces.
Pisces are the psychics, the witches. I mean, when we were talking about my grandmother, Joni's grandmother, also my grandmother, my mom's mom, her mom's mom, Cleo, she's a witch. She's absolutely showing us how to do tarot cards using playing cards, like how to tell fortunes using a regular deck of playing cards that she brought back from Vegas. And they had the hole punch through them because that's you would punch the hole through the deck of cards to render it no longer dealable in the casino. And then they would sell those or give them away to people who were there gambling. And so that my grandmother was a big gambler. And like she would go to Daytona Beach and go to the running of the greyhounds and the what was it? She'd go to the dogs, they called it. We're going to the dogs, driving down to Daytona Beach to go to the dogs and high lie, gamble, 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 bingo, bingo. Oh my God, so many daubers in the windowsill. My grandmother was at bingo at least twice a week, always for money. She and I would gamble over the Braves baseball games while they aired on TV. And we would bet a nickel for a single and a dime for a double. And then we would do I think a quarter for a triple and a home run was like 50 cents. That was a really big deal.
I
Anyway,
have no clue what you're saying. I hear you and I believe you. That is not the world I literally grew up with, as we've discussed
yeah,
before. There was no gambling. There was none of that. Certainly no tarot. So yeah, I mean, you grew up with
magic.
whatever that is. It's
Okay, but so hang on, because let me see. So here's my grandmother that I was just talking about. Pisces rising,
yeah.
Pisces sun, Pisces ascendant. So triple Pisces,
Hmm.
like you don't get more witchy, psychic,
Right.
connected with another world than that.
That's
And then an exalted moon conjunct North Node.
exactly.
So moon in
Yeah,
Taurus
yeah. I mean,
on that
very
North Node.
close.
Exalted Mars. Look at my grandmother. So my grandmother bucked rivets in the wings of the B-29 Superfortress bomber. She filled tetrol cell. She filled shells, like arsenal, yeah, with tetrol powder. And I mean, she worked in factories after that for actual commerce, like companies. She worked at National Biscuit, Nabisco. Also, we always had crackers and cookies. It was great. But she, before all that, did war stuff. She was a true Rosie the Riveter. And when I look at this exalted Mars in the 11th house, like what she was doing for the collective at this time, I go, yep, yep, this all checks out. Um, but she's also that Neptune Cancer
Hmm.
generation, and Jupiter in Saturn retrograde in her ninth house on her south node, like with the south node holding that down. I'm just like, okay, so then if I put, if I
Sounds like a
put,
trine. Is that called a grand trine or just a trine? Like,
let me see which part. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we've got Neptune. Some people say you don't count Neptune and
yeah.
Pluto when you're doing grand trine because they're outers. But yes, that is for sure with her sun and her Jupiter.
Hmm.
I mean, it's at the very least that part's a trine, but then this one
Right.
that connects these uh,
Hmm.
or these, you go this way too, but it's actually, yeah, all that water. Woo, all that water. Okay, so what I did was I put my mom on her. So this now has my mom's rising in the wrong spot. So ignore that part. But what I noticed is, so I was born during my mom's nodal return. So we share, mine's at 3 degrees, mom's at 4 degrees. We share the North Node that way. But my mom was born with the North Node on my grandmother's Chiron. And I'm like, that's interesting. The wounded healer is a part of my mom's spiritual story. The wounded healer in my grandmother's chart is a part of my mom's North Node spiritual journey and destiny. North Node is, what we came in here to do. And what we're karmically leaving behind is back here with my mom conjunct Mars. That South Node conjunct Mars is so, oh my God, that's so my mom in Virgo. Sweet Jesus. But sharing all of this because there are family patterns that we start noticing when we line up the charts like that, even that go even beyond the stuff that my cousin was bringing in of, I have a moon here and my dad is this sun, my brother has a moon here and my mom is that sun. And those of course are arrangements that we're also going to talk about, and we're going to look at those charts specifically. But I want to mention why this happens, and then we're going to go back to Melissa's family, because you also have some really interesting stuff with your kiddo and your siblings, with all of this. The way this works in general is we're born into what becomes our natal chart. We're born, and that those are our placements. That is a snapshot of a moment in time. There's our chart. We will throughout our lives find activations for all the things in our charts through transits and progressions and other techniques that are used to manipulate or accent the natal chart. But also, we will keep attracting people in our lives. We'll be born into them, we'll leave that family and go create another family that puts them right back there to help activate places in our charts that otherwise would not get activated.
Hmm.
And this is where that whole, it's karmic that we know each other. How did we get put together out of all the cajillions of people that could possibly meet? How do we get to meet? And then when we look at our charts and we go, well, I know why we met.
Hmm.
We met because your chocolate got into my peanut butter. Like it's like,
Or something.
it's something, because we will think like, so here I grew up, there's two signs, and I'll never say what they are, but there's two signs that I generally struggle with, and those were my brothers. So I had to figure out how to deal with them, although my brothers are so much older that they were out of the house by the time I was old enough to have a memory of them. They were like uncles that came to visit now and then. But when we did have issues, I was like, it's those signs. So I go, I'm not hanging out. I'm not fucking with those signs. I'm not hanging out with those signs. But I continue to get those folks in my life because my chart says this is places you need healing. This is places that are lit up with karmic reasons to work this stuff out. And of course, now today, I would have a very different relationship with both either of my brothers because I have so much awareness and understanding of the beauty of what I found problematic in each of their signs.
Right. And isn't it interesting when you have those realizations? And I don't mean just you've done your work and you've gone to therapy and you're like, oh, but when you look at someone's chart and go, holy shit, holy shit, this all makes sense now. And I'm not saying that we're predestined to a life of dot, 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 just because that's how we popped out into the world. But woof, there, you
It's
know what I
it,
mean?
yeah, because the chart gets opportunities. This is where I say free will is for sure.
Yeah.
Because the chart says here is the condition of your birth, and then you have all the free will in the world to handle activations any kind of way you want. But those activations are going to happen.
Mhm. Mhm.
What
It,
Tell me some more about your family because I was just mesmerized. And
well,
I've got
let me ask
I can
this.
pull them up if you want anybody. Just tell me.
Well, I'm going to have you pull someone else up in just a second that I actually didn't give you because now I'm
Okay.
looking at hers going, oh my God. Um, so for my family, my mom, my immediate family, I've been able to, I know because I've seen birth certificates
Yeah.
of the birth time. I feel like I saw one for my maternal grandmother and I just can't find it anywhere. But ultimately, that just messes with the house system. But there's some very clear stuff in here. My
Hang on.
question,
Let's talk about that for anybody who doesn't have birth times of family or
that
even
was what I was going to
yourself.
ask you.
Right. Yeah. Go
What do
ahead.
you do? How did you do it? I know how I typically do it, but if you can't do the rectification because you don't have time to do that, like what do you choose do you choose the same thing every time as a birth time?
So rather than if there's just no chance you are not going to be able to come up with a birth time, there is no one who can help you know, even if it was before the sun came up that
Right.
day or it was late that night, like nobody can give you any kind of help with what is the time of day, but you do know it's that day. You can get to know where everything is in terms of planetary placements. And if the moon did not change signs that day, that includes two
Mhm.
of the big three, which is the sun and the moon.
Mhm.
If the moon changed signs that day, you are going to end up with, well, if it's early, it was this moon. And if it was late, it was this moon.
Right.
And so you have narrowed it down to two different moons and definitely a sun. And
Right.
everything else is pretty likely to be where it's going to be. And you have what's called an untimed chart because you don't know the rising. And you would have, let's look at the chart is 12 houses. That's 24 hours for 12 houses. There's a 2 hour window for each of the rising signs. And if you can't narrow it down the way you can with the moon. So what do? There are some people who will put the sun in the first house because since we know the sun, let's anchor it there. There are
Okay.
some people who will put the moon in the first house because especially if we know it's the moon, it didn't change signs that day, we can put the moon in the first house and we know that that sets some of the story. But there are also people who say choose sunrise in the place of their birth, choose noon, choose 6 a.m. Well, that would be like a sunrise chart. There are places that you can play with it if you want to lay it on top of another family member's charts that would help you see certain things. But you just have to know going in, I really don't know what this
Mhm.
person's rising is. And if I can't know enough about their history or their story to be able to guess or get in the general territory, like they have this water sun, water moon, but they're so fiery, they have to have a fire rising. Yeah, but which one is it? Which sign is it? Don't know. You're going to be playing with it for a while. And I say allow that fluidity to help you see some
Mhm.
things in the patterns rather than feeling restricted by that.
Okay.
What do you
Okay.
do?
That's helpful. Well, I've just yesterday when I was running through some of these because I was just going on for many of them sun sign. And then when I started really looking at it, I was like, yeah, I could figure some things out about my grandmother. But at some point, I
That
was
look.
just like, I'm putting noon. I'm just going to put noon for everybody, just something to have an idea. Which I don't. I mean, I can do. I've done some rectification with probably uneducated rectification, but knowing what I know about people, I'm like, there's no way in hell this person. I can't imagine it coming out in this way. But looking at different times. So, how about this? How about we look at, if you would like to. So you've seen my chart and you've
Yep,
seen the platter.
I'm putting you on. I'm
You,
putting you on screen. Yeah, and
all
then
right. Do my mom and then let's do my maternal grandmother. You can do a triple, right?
okay. Ah,
All right.
okay. So let me get back on our share screen here. So here's what I have. I have Melissa in the inner circle and mom as the shower cap, and then you want outside her, you want her mom.
Correct.
So we're gonna do. This is gonna be M Crim's G mom
Uh-huh.
date.
All right. Well, darn it. Of course. Damn it all to hell. Oh, wait, wait, wait. I've got it here. I've got it
Okay.
here. I let me just really quickly flip through all of this,
Wait,
all of
wait,
these.
wait. Hang on. We got to stop the share so people can see this.
Sorry, all of these have different Pisces, 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 Pisces.
And Melissa,
Different ones.
where's your North Node?
Then Pisces, where's my child's North Node? Pisces. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, and that explains a lot of things.
It
But
does. Oh my God.
sorry, I jumped to something
Not
else.
worried about it.
Jumped to
Not worried
something.
about it. It's eclipse day. The fact that we're able to even function today is such a bonus. Oh my God.
Heck yeah.
Okay, give me birth date for grandma.
11.
November? Whoopsie. No,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, yeah,
November,
yeah.
November
November
2nd. Yep.
2nd, 19, no, yeah, 1923.
And time we don't know or
Don't know the time.
okay, so we're gonna put noon. Is that what you've been doing?
Yeah, that's what
And
I
where?
did.
Where?
Elizabeth, um, Louisiana. I think that's right. I'll tell you if the date's right. I think it's 23.
All right. So this gives her
Yep, that's right.
a 22-degree, 14-minute ascendant of Capricorn, which it's a noon chart, so we don't know for sure. Let me
Right.
actually
Hang
edit
on.
and go.
I gotta make sure that I got that right. Although,
I always by the way, people who are like looking at what I'm doing here, always save your charts that have an estimated time or I'm not sure of the time. Always put those with a little note to yourself so that you don't get precious about the rising sign, which is the driver of the life car, and therefore the ruling planet of the chart. You know, right there in the name of the chart that this is one that it's an untimed chart. We've had to guess.
mhm.
That's a favor you're doing to future you. I promise you that
That's
get in that habit.
so freaking helpful for all of the things. Yeah. I don't
Good
know what's
Lord,
going on.
look at all that Scorpio.
Okay, actually hold.
Yep.
I did her chart a little different than that.
Okay.
Did I put her name under her name? I swear to gosh. Yep. I think I did a different time for her.
Okay. We can edit.
No, November 2nd, 1923. I have 12 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh, does it have her as a Cancer rising?
No, Capricorn.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yep, that's it.
No, baby, she's because she's on the third ring. That means that
Okay,
the
okay.
chart gets laid on your
Thank you.
rising, which is also your mom's rising. Her rising, that's the first thing I looked at was over here. This ascendant
Okay,
at 22 degrees, 44 minutes, Capricorn.
thank you.
You're welcome.
So yes, so I would say that that's a pretty full, like if you look at my mom's rising and then you look at what's going on with her, my grandmother. Oh my God. My grandmother's sun is basically on my mom's moon.
Yes,
Dang.
that's correct.
My grandmother was extremely like controlling caretaking. You know what I mean? Like, do you need any food? No, go ahead and have some food. No, some of that is Southern, some of that is her age. She
Here,
was tough. She was sharp-tongued. I mean,
I,
like fierce.
I've now put your grandmother in the center and just your mom on the outside. I just
Okay.
am I'm captioning what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
So your grandmother was sharp tongue.
Oh my God.
Let's look at that. Well, yeah, Scorpio. Come on.
I
Scorpio, Mercury,
mean,
Scorpio, Sun. Ignore the midheaven because we don't know what time this chart is. Um, Venus in Scorpio, Jupiter in Scorpio. Those two together, both benefics,
oh yeah.
super, super sharp tongue.
Hmm.
And Moon in Leo, not afraid to say it.
Absolutely.
Mars in Libra does try to keep the peace. If they are going to fight, it's going to be we're fighting for a partnership or fighting for
That
something
makes
to work out.
hmm
Because that Saturn, even though it's not conjunct Mars, is also going to temper that Mars a little. So this is where I would say, if no, she was constantly hot headed. The moon makes some of that true, but with this Mars being mitigated by this exalted Saturn in Libra, then I would say that's an argument for a potential fire sign ascendant.
hmm she just would snip. Well, I don't know. Like meh, meh,
Scorpio.
meh.
That's Scorpio.
So
So
much
when,
of the Scorpio.
so when she had your mom, the moon was in Scorpio on her sun. Mars was on her moon, not exact. And look at that stellium of Cancer stuff that your mom brought to her mom's seventh house. Or no, we're not doing houses for your grandmother. Dang, it's so tempting, isn't it?
Well, yes, and also she was born, she was a war baby, and all the guys were gone, and she was doted on, and she was the favorite of like nine. Her mom is the one. This would be fascinating too, because I haven't run her chart, but my great grandmother, who I was named after, my Nana was her favorite, and my mom was my great grandmother's favorite.
And
She's the one with
you're the favorite.
Pisces.
You're the favorite from there as well.
Well, my Nana, yeah, I think so, yes. Um, but her mother was born in my mom died in Cancer season too. And my
Water,
Nana was
water,
born in
water.
Scorpio and died in Pisces. And her mother was born in a Pisces sun. I mean, I hate to just keep going, but this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. And this isn't even just Pisces. This is just like water, water, water,
So
water.
when you cannot get away from the water, it is either saying express your emotions or let those emotions flow through all these other people so you don't have to soak in it as much.
Mhm.
What does it mean for you?
The downstream effect of that was that is that I'm a deep feeler. I do have several placements in water signs. And I felt it, when somebody generationally is like, whoa, like not the buck stops here, but there's something that changes where it's almost like there's this tsunami or this dam that broke and it just kept flowing, 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 but nobody was addressing it, whether it's because of when they were born or what their coping skills were. And at some point, I'm like, oh gosh, I've got it all. And I'm feeling it and I'm seeing it and I'm talking about it. Also, I think generationally. So, what I've done with that, and for the first part of my life, I ignored it, did not just get really frustrated with water signs. And who knew I was Cancer rising? So there's that. And in leaning into that and just being able to say for the first time when I was 30, like something hurt my feelings, that's really
Wow.
vulnerable. I mean, and then it feels like there's been some upline healing in part because I've been soft enough to understand and do some reconciliation and use that as part of my healing and as a gift to myself and others instead of digging in and resisting and being angry that I had feelings or drowning in my own emotions and it poisoning me, you know?
Absolutely. I so get that. And just thinking about you and your natal chart and this one little water Neptune, yes, of course we can count that too, but it's not felt the same way as
Right.
the closer in stuff. The the need and want to dig in to, I love that you use that phrase, is so about your fixed signs, because you've got, of course, Leo, Mars, and Sun, but also Taurus, Saturn, and exalted moon. And then, of course, Scorpio, Jupiter, and like I said, Neptune, we can count or not count. That's a lot of fixed energy.
Uh-huh.
That's a lot of like, we're going to just dig in and live here. And then all the water comes through and says, you can get fixed all you want. We are going to erode things with all this water. So there will be change.
And I don't feel like that was just me in my lifetime.
Right.
For whatever reason, I showed up as the one to do the thing. Maybe because I have a Pisces North Node, and that was just like what I'm moving toward, and
Yeah.
that's just another part of it. So, and a lot of those came from, well, it's both sides of the family. It is.
Well, and I think that what we've got, our generation, we've got a lot of people who came in to soften these very hard depression era people, this generation of folks that, just you're going to cry, I'll give you something to cry about. I think we did a lot to go, what's also good, owning your feelings and not gaslighting people and making them feel like they're crazy for saying something happened a certain kind of way. I remember one of the first big things I had with my brother, I was like, oh my God, I have never wanted to tell somebody their childhood memories are wrong. And he loved telling me how
Mhm.
wrong my childhood memories were. And I'm like, they're my memories. How do you get to tell me they're wrong?
Right.
And I'm like, I think though that that's, I mean, I have boomer brothers. The difference between boomers and
Yeah.
X is Gen X came in and said, or we're going to actually deal with this, and we're going to do the uncomfortable thing. We're going to have some place for those emotions to go, that no, it might not look good, but we're done keeping up with the Joneses. We're done with whatever this appearances have to be maintained. We're going to get messy, and that's going to be okay.
You know, as you were talking about that, I started considering like the layering of the generational planets.
Yep.
And I wonder if, like, when there's this strong, whether it's fire, air, water, and it hasn't been not, I mean, maybe dealt with, reconciled. And at some point when the generational planets shift, like Uranus in Libra or Pluto in Virgo,
Virgo.
Pluto in Libra, or, whatever,
Yep.
if at that point it's like, whoa, wait a minute. We're in particularly depending on which house. My fourth house is Libra and Uranus is on top of my IC. And so there's a part of me that's like, I don't think I can help it. I can't do it the way y'all have done it.
Right.
So I wonder if there's that layering, like there's all of this generational meaning or ancestral, and then the generation impacts the personality or expression of it.
I think so. I think, and we talk about this with Pluto usually gets the one that holds the reputation for defining the generations, but we've got to remember the generations are capitalist constructs. They are financial generations. The reason there's something called baby boomer is because we needed something to describe how we want to market to these people that were all created off coming home from the war. And then, we've got this boom of all these babies that were born there. And then we get Pluto moves into Virgo and then into Libra, and we've got all these Gen Xers. But it's not just the Pluto of it all. It is Neptune going from Scorpio, which while fixed is a transformational sign. And
Yeah.
Neptune then moving into Sagittarius, which is a mutable sign, you've got back to back big transformation energy of the Gen Xers going, I'm not afraid of doing this work. And for those of us who are of the Pluto Virgo part of that generation, we go, it's all in the name of healing. Yes, it
Right.
sucks, but it's worth it. And for the people who are then Libra Pluto, it's my person is worth it. I'm a better partner when I do this. And I think that that absolutely speaks to why that kind of thing happened, even before we look at specific placements in the
Right.
natal chart.
Right. I like to think that Gen X turned the ship around.
Yeah, yeah, in a
Because
lot of
if
ways.
you look at things like capitalist wise, everyone's like Gen X is a bunch of freaking like losers, like they're just lost and whatever. I'm like, well, maybe it took some of that for people to say F it all.
That's right.
You're bucking the system.
That's right. You don't get a lot of where we are with the absolutely let them be superior future generations. I fine. I love it because there are things that Gen Xers died for to make happen
Yeah.
for you to be able to do all of that.
Right. Right.
And then we're counting on y'all to save our asses right now. And
That's right, for sure. And I'm kidding,
of
really, about
course,
the Gen
yeah,
X thing, but I'm like, seriously, like that. I wonder if that is when things started, pro therapy,
yeah.
pro all of that. So,
Yeah, and so I want to get to Joni's stuff since of course she's our
uh-huh.
sponsor for this conversation. What do you recommend people do to start looking at family patterns, even if all they know is their relative's birthday and a year and maybe around the place? Where do you send them to go, like put in chart information and just looking at overlays, keeping in
Mhm.
mind what we already discussed about maybe you don't know the time?
Right. I can tell you what I did, and I also always note this. I feel like knowing even more than just sometimes even your grandparents. I mean, there is some degree of privilege that comes with being able to have really any information,
Records
even
at all. Yeah.
birth date at all. I mean, things burn up, people are adopted. And, obviously your adopted family, for most people is considered your family, but then if you're looking like generationally, like DNA wise. So there are so many, people who've moved from other places. And anyway, I want to say that first off. I happen to be someone who has access to generational. So I got really interested in it. And I got some information from family members, and then I'm just like a super nerd. So I started intuitive researching, and some of it did have to do with the programs that people are like, don't go into that. But I'm like, they already have my DNA anyway, whatever.
Oh
So
yeah.
so I got on like Ancestry and just different places. And as I'm going up, I mean, I knew a lot of information, and it wasn't until I think I was open that I started going. I mean, let me show. This is, again, I think I showed you. This is just some of the Pisces stuff, some of it. So I have a
Incredible.
big old party for Pisces, and this was just several years ago. I'm talking like starting on February 29th
Okay.
was a birthday.
Love it. Oh, that's when you texted me about how do we do
Yeah,
leap day.
I
Yeah, yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah.
All the way to this is all the way up just until first 2 weeks really. 3/14, March 14th. And so as you know, it's like birth, birth, death, birth, death, birth, 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 and death, same day.
Whew.
Death, death, not same day. I mean like same day, but however many years later.
Anniversary. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Death, death, birth, birth. And then I don't even know how many are there because I was mostly focusing on my maternal family. And so what I did was just looked at the birth dates. I asked questions, I looked at the birth dates, and then at some point I went, what? I've never identified as anything having to do with Pisces. At that point, I didn't even really know that much about North Node years ago. And then I feel like they held my hand or they held me up in this water and guided me over to, hey, honey, here's your here's your life. Like,
Yeah.
here's your life purpose or whatever we want to call it. And we're here behind you. All I knew was their birth dates and death dates based on records. And now every Pisces season, I set a table. I think I showed you that. Like, and I'm using it for that book that I'm going to do at some point. And I just like have them in order. Jonathan's two grandmothers are Pisces,
Oh my
birthdays in
God.
March. So basically, we just have a big old party, and I spend a little bit of time thanking each one of them, and they have a seat at the table.
I love this ritual so
And
much.
I appreciate it because the way I started doing it was I don't know. It just happened. And then I was interested, and then I started doing research, and then I looked at patterns, and then I looked at well, this all makes sense. Now, I guess I can't reject anything Pisces at this point because here I
Well,
am.
Pisces North Node, you and I share, we're having our nodal return here any minute. And this ability to trust that communication is happening on multiple timelines in multiple dimensions simultaneously is the most Pisces North Node shit I've ever
Yeah.
done. And I knew I wanted a more connected Pisces nodal return experience this time than the one I had 18 and a half years ago. And
Yes.
everybody experiences a nodal return every 18 and a half years. That's how that goes. So we can talk about what they are for all the signs at some point down the line. But for sure, that Pisces nodal return is such an opportunity to connect with ancestors that you would have never been able to meet because of how long ago they existed, but also to be able to have communication with and among all of those and looking at what they've been able to help pull together to help you through whatever water stuff you might be experiencing.
And what might help me balance that and just looking at them, where have my strengths and weaknesses been and who have I been attracted to? And even though a lot of people might not have any Pisces in their family, but it's a great time, it's a great season, just Pisces season, because there's the sprinkling and
Yeah.
the effect of that to even look at to do some of this and connect with your own upline, your own
Yeah.
ancestors during this particular season while maybe things are a little more open.
It's such a great opportunity. So here we are coming into Pisces season tomorrow. Um,
Oh my gosh. I'm like, what day? What? Tomorrow?
Pisces season starts tomorrow. Yep. This
Okay.
eclipse in Aquarius, and now the moon has already moved into Pisces, and the sun follows. Yeah, we are absolutely kicking off Pisces season, and I think that's a beautiful way to do it. Okay, so let's take a look at Joni.
Joni.
Yeah, because Joni, thank you, of course, for bringing this to us. So amazing. All right, now we've done enough other things. I got to go to my saved charts. Get up in here. We're going to open. I go to my actual fam. I have like so many people in my family. I have to go to my actual fam. All right. So I'm going to show Joni's business.
Uh-huh.
Here we go. All right. So Joni's got this hot Aries moon and Jupiter retrograde over here in sixth house, Scorpio rising, water, all this Virgo up here in that Virgo sun, Virgo Venus, Virgo Pluto, Virgo Uranus, uh, that Mars Libra that we were just talking about in your family, and Mercury in Libra. That's beautiful and wonderful. Saturn down here in in Aquarius domicile. Love that. All right, so now we're not going to put Melissa's mom. We're going to put. Let's see. Do I have? I think it was Maxine that we got the connection with, or it was no, it was I think her dad. Let's go to as I file, go actual fam, Joni and all right. Is it this one? Yes.
Get mom out of there.
Get it. Okay, here we go. So this is Joni and her dad.
Mhm.
And her dad had just experienced the moon on his son when Joni was born. So it's
Mhm.
not just his sun, her moon exist in the same sign. They
Mhm.
are, in fact, a new moon conjunction. And what happens in our charts when we have anybody's sun on anybody else's moon? Keith and I share this. my moon, my sun, his moon. Rachel and I share this. Rachel Lang, her sun, my moon. Anytime you have relationships where the sun and the moon from two different people are conjunct, what you have is the way the person with the sun in that sign helps meet the needs of the person with the moon in that sign is like the best friendship that ever exists. The person with the moon that we're talking about ends up feeling so safe with that person who's got the sun. And so Keith and his Cancer moon feel so safe with my Cancer sun, and he doesn't feel safe with anybody. So that is, it's a high compliment. Rachel with her sun on my moon, I feel so safe with Rachel. There's nothing I can behave badly enough to lose that safety. And not that I'm going around trying to behave badly with Rachel. It's just that's what that signature is.
I'm
That's
testing it every time we get
every
together.
chance I get. No, never, never. We're it's like, it's kind of like when you and I were going, why are we so good together? It's like, because the astrology says so. Like it's just there, you can't help that. So any of the big three, when they're on top of one another, that happens. And so that's not just having that synastry or that connection by sign. It's also just, this is a really big protective relationship. And if we flip it to see what was Bullet's chart, and yes, that's my Uncle Bullet, love it. Bullet was experiencing these transits when Joni was born. And so Joni puts her sun up in her dad's ninth house, which is adventure and higher education and traveling to foreign lands. And I know that Joni, both, by the way, both these people working in the airline industry, Joni went into the family business after Bullet worked in airline for decades, as did my dad. Like it's a family business working
I
in
didn't
flight.
know that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And so
Wow.
Joni and Bullet flew all over the world. All of like I call myself a Delta brat. Like when you grow up with a family member in airlines, you go everywhere. But these two went legit everywhere. And that's because Joni's son brought that adventure into what is otherwise a pretty empty ninth house. Um, Gosh, I love this. And Joni's Jupiter
I was about to ask about that.
on dad's Venus. So we've got this Venus in Bullet's chart saying love, money, enoughness. And Joni comes in with this optimism, although retrograde, not in great shape. But there's this connection of these benefics.
Mm-hmm.
And it does go in both directions.
Mm-hmm.
That this Jupiter has optimism that says this love, money, enoughness feels supported. And when we flip it, and of course that changes the houses again and gets us, where do we go? Over here to the sixth house for Joni's chart, that not quite as optimistic as it could be, Jupiter gets a boost of enoughness from that dad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love this so much.
Do you see Pluto pretty close to the ascendant and then opposite? I'm sorry. Ascendant close to South Node, Pluto close to North Node.
So, okay. So what we have here is I put Bullet back in the center again. So we're looking at Bullet's ascendant, his 21-degree Capricorn rising. And again, here's another Saturn first house. So this is someone who's very measured. This is someone who's very correct. And having known Bullet all my life while he was around, this is accurate. This is, he knows what he knows, and he knows that he knows it. And also there's that little you don't need to be too much kind of vibe here, but incredibly competitive, incredibly successful. But you would never know it because of that Saturn saying keep it measured. But yes, Joni being born with her nodes on this Pluto ascendant opposition that her dad had to activate stuff in him. Like her nodal experience activating his Pluto opposite ascendant, no question. And that also means that as Joni does work to move toward her Cancer North Node, she is continuing to pull from some of the generational rules that her dad brought in.
Right.
Yep.
Whoa.
And so now if we go to other of the family members, we've got here's Joni's brother, and then we're going to put in Joni's mother, because these two right here, this is where we get the story of the mom
Mm-hmm.
and the son have this Cancer sun on moon. So it's not just that Steve was born with his moon in the sign of his mom's sun, it's that they have this bond of Maxine takes care of Steve in a way that makes Steve feel safe. And because Steve has Jupiter on top of his sun, he needs to be made to feel safe, because that exalted Jupiter is saying everything you feel is really big and a little chaotic because Uranus.
Oh, yeah. That's right there. That's close.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to want to flip this and see.
There's another. Oh, never
Yeah,
mind.
I won't flip it yet. No, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. So when we flip it, we now put Maxine, the mom, in the center, and she had this baby, Steve, during these transits. That's how to position it in time, like it actually happened. This is the mom's natal chart, and then this is the moment that the first child was born. And when we take a look at the kid was born as the moon was coming up on mom's sun, so that definitely has a certain kind of feeling to it. And again, that Jupiter also on that sun.
Mm-hmm.
There's an optimism that mom has about this kid because of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And his son right up here at the top of mom's chart, that could be interesting. The sun is not quite in a square to mom's sun, and that can mean tension, but it's pretty loose. It's 12 degrees off, so
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't clock that too much. What else, what do you see?
And I'm just pretty much exactly what you've seen.
Wow. And again, we have a kid born with the nodes in the parents' first and seventh houses. Isn't that
Uh-huh.
interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Because seventh house is the house of partnership. It's like these nodes for these kids did stuff in Maxine and Bullett's marriage and partnership,
Mm-hmm.
destiny stuff. Interesting.
There's their Mercuries are loosely trine.
Yep. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Mercury at 16, Cancer, Mercury at 19, Pisces.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, and look at that exalted Venus. This is
Mm-hmm.
Joni. This is why Steve's so lucky, just so you know. Because Steve, talk about Steve can just, everybody's always taking care of him. Everybody's got, like, we got you, brother. You good. Don't worry about a thing.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, look at that. And it's trine his south node.
Yep. Sure is. Woo.
Yeah, there's some happiness. And then the moon is in Cancer.
Oh, but look, though. Mercury trining Scorpio that's retrograde. There's some tension in those water signs for him.
Mm.
Oh, wait. Hang on. I just want to look at Steve's chart for a second.
Whoa, and then trine Jupiter, huh?
That's exactly what made me go, hang on, let's actually take a second, go, can we look at that
Whoa.
19 degrees Mercury Pisces, not happy, the 20 degrees Saturn Scorpio retrograde, and the 20 degrees Jupiter Cancer. That's a grand trine for you,
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
with the moon too. Yeah. Uh-huh. Woo!
Dang.
That's why
Oh my
he's
God, that's
so
right.
lucky.
So
So
there's like
lucky.
a conjunction trine.
Right? Because, okay, so this is an exalted Jupiter and an exalted Venus, not that Venus is a part of this trine, but
And the
dang,
moon's happy.
what was that one?
And the moon's happy.
The moon is definitely happy in domicile and conjunct that exalted Jupiter. That's a really powerful getting your needs met moon situation. Oh, and his moon and Jupiter, by the way, are on my sun and midheaven. That's interesting. Um,
Wh- yes,
just
which
an aside. But I'm
which
now I see. Go ahead.
we, and not that I'm related, but in connection to you, he and I have the same ascendant.
Hmm.
No, we don't.
You have
His moon is on my
on
ascendant.
your ascendant. That's right. Right. Because we know that your ascendant is connected with my sun.
Uh-huh.
And so that's, yeah, exactly. By the way, the thing that I am now going, ooh, that I didn't notice when we were not isolating Steve's chart is the Mars right on top of his ascendant. That is not comfortable. That is that is a malefic right on top of your personality. Um,
I mean, that's some drive in a place that's like needs the security.
it's the kind of drive that can be like disassociated from because it feels so scary. Like this is someone who's either like top chef and just masterful with all of the things, and you just go, I don't even understand how that happens. Or it's someone who didn't go figure out all those dreams and looking at the midheaven conjunct Chiron. Um,
And did you already talk about the opposition
to
to Saturn in
oh, I did not. Fuck. Woo. Oh yeah.
I mean, that's less than what? That's like two, I can't even. That's less than 2 degrees, right? No.
2.5 degrees. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm counting it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely. No. That's Saturn opposing ascendant and Saturn opposing Mars. When the malefics oppose one another, I call this the please, you're both pretty. You're both cute. Like you're both badass. You both can cut a bitch. You both can do damage. Yes.
Then let us not forget the square with ascendant Mars and Pluto.
Uh-huh.
I
I,
mean,
this is a powerful chart.
mhm,
Yeah, it's a T square between the malefics and Pluto.
mhm.
Like this is someone who could lead a cult or especially with that North Node in the ninth house. This could be seriously powerful, powerful human.
Mhm. So he was a formidable dude.
Yeah, yeah. So smart. One of the smartest people, like ridiculously smart. Um, but I want to see. Let's put Joni, and then I know this is like the longest episode ever, but I love it. So when Joni was
Poor nerd.
born, well, no, it's like if you're a nerd, you love it. By the way, when I get like, oh my god, this episode's so long, people are going to hate it. I remind myself, I just shared with our aligned MCs group because we're going to be talking about it tomorrow. We're going to be doing a whole exploration of house systems and when did they each come into favor and what are they each good for and all that. Um,
I know
the
what you're going to say.
I linked to the astrology podcast house systems rap battle, I call it, in which Chris Brennan step by step takes down Deborah Holdings' points about because she's absolutely, he calls it whole sign house denialism. Like she just denies the system even is a thing. And I'm not sure that that's necessarily true, but that episode is 7 hours long. And you do not want to fuck with a Scorpio because that's Chris. That's like peak Chris and point by point by point taken down. It's I watched a lot of it live because this was going on live, like, and we're just like, this never stops. Oh my God, he's still going. This is still streaming. Like, go away, take meetings, teach classes, come back. Oh my God, it's still going on. Anyway, so
That's some Lord of the Rings shit, like the whole bunch, the whole thing.
really long. So like, so when I feel like, oh God, this is so long. Wait, why do I have this? Because I wanted to, oh, this was just if I wanted to show my mom and me, this was in Placidus. My mom's son on my Saturn,
Hmm.
my son on her Pluto, my
Hmm.
chart ruler Mars at her ascendant. This, of course, is also part of why Melissa and I are so close because of this late Leo situation.
Wait, your chart ruler's not Mars?
I didn't say Mars. Did I say
Oh, I
Mars?
thought you
I may
said
have
my
said
chart
Mars.
ruler Mars.
Sorry,
Did you?
my chart ruler Venus, and then I was doing this on her rising in Leo, and I saw the Mars. I probably said Mars.
Got it.
My
I was like,
apologies.
no, no, we got to fix that.
No, you're right. No, thank you. No, my chart ruler Venus conjunct my mom's ascendant, and of course your sun, because that's why we do what we do. It's part of why we do what we do. But anyway, I'm just taking a look at yeah, okay, back over here. Back over here. So when Joni was born into Steve's life, we also have Mars. I apparently want to say Mars. I want to say Mars all the time. Okay, Mars, Mars, Mars.
Fire horse,
Get
fire
out of your
horse.
system. I have entered the fire horse year.
Aries,
Right.
Aries, Aries.
I'm trying to blue, 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 blue. I'm ahead for the Neptune Saturn conjunction in Aries later this week. Boop, boop. Okay, so this is the moon was on Steve's sun, or coming up on Steve's sun when Joni was born.
Mm-hmm.
Her north node is on his moon and Jupiter.
Yep.
That's destiny. Both, by the way, nodal reversal. He's got north node in Capricorn. She's got north node in Cancer. So the exact opposite destinies.
Whoa.
Wow. Which means they each trigger one another's south nodes for staying stuck.
Right, right.
So it's like each is a cautionary tale for the other.
And I can see that going both ways, either like in times of frustration or stress, or, coping right hand, if you're right-handed, like going back to what you know and not wanting to get out of that thing is, or an emotional place for sure, to be triggering to the other person and frustrating. And then also at some point, maybe even after some nodal returns and reversals, one or two, to be like, oh, okay, like I can understand some of this. Like you're moving toward the other a bit more.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. But yes, both cautionary tale and inspiration, motivation to go the path.
Right.
So if I
Right.
swap the charts just to put Joni's rising in to focus here, this chronologically wouldn't happen because Joni was born after Steve, but we'll take a look at, we've got Joni was born with an ascendant that is pretty close to her brother's water, Saturn. Limits, boundaries, but retrograde, Saturn, Scorpio. Sun on moon. We
Mhm.
saw that.
Right now, this is her brother, right?
It is.
Okay. I think I got a little bit lost and I got it now. If I referred to one to him as her dad, then I understand that it is not.
No, her dad is Bullet.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. These family patterns, though, like I also notice things where the same degree, like the numbers repeat. Like this happens for a lot of people when they start looking into their charts and start looking at these patterns and they just go, why do we all have, like my mom and I were both born on the 11th. She was born May 11th. I was born July 11th. We've got siblings, cousins in our family who like born on Cleo's, March 5th. We got people born on the 5th. We got people born like just the like that stuff lays out a lot. And to me, that's so part of what makes astrology real, because out of all the days and all the possibilities and all the opportunities, it takes a full 26,000 years for a chart to exactly reproduce. So like just statistically, that's to get everything in your chart back to where it was 26,000 years. So we already know that that's not happening. But all of the different factors that could possibly overlay, like it is statistically abnormal how frequently we end up with pairings and ways that empty parts of our charts are filled in by the people that we connect with.
Right. And or also a superpower.
Tell me more about that.
Um, well, I'm thinking specifically. Oh, hold on. My I was always so proud that my mom and her sister were born one day apart. I mean, 6 years and one day.
That's impressive.
My sister and I were born 6 years and 4 days apart. And so I don't know, there's like I always loved their relationship, and my sister and I are very close now, and even though we're 6 years apart, we operate maybe like twins would operate. We have a similar language, and because my brother's been gone traveling the world and doing different things. We've been close to him, but he's been out of the scene a lot, although never out of contact. And as he's been closer physically, geographically, and we've spent more time together over the past however many years, I didn't even realize how much like my friends are freaked out by it. One of my friends was like, I know it's that way with my sister. When the three of us are together, it's like almost nothing else exists.
Yeah.
And there is this really interesting communication and which can also, I'm sure, get frustrating, but for other people and for us. But there is really just this flow, if you want to talk about flow, water, 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 water flow of communicating and a knowing, and some of it's just growing up together, but like even some of the things that like us having dreams about each other, and we'll text sometimes and go, is everybody having such and such? And they're like, yep. Or is everyone okay? Or hey, we had a dream about you. If you're going to go be on water today, don't.
Yep.
And we both,
Absolutely.
that kind of thing.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. And Keith and I, especially Keith's Pisces stellium has been 25 years of North Node in Pisces training for me. Like yes, Keith and I met seriously 25 years ago, April. That's bizarre.
wow.
It's just been constant training of what is Pisces, what is it to be Pisces, what is it to communicate with Pisces, and the amount of, hey hun, do you have, like, is your shin hurting? Yeah, it is. I banged it earlier. Great. Could you please take something for the pain because my shin is really killing me? Like, why we got to feel each other's stuff? And it's like, because water. And there would have been a time that we would have gone, this is so weird. Like, I know that this sounds wild, but we don't even preface it with stuff like that anymore. It's just like, did you
Interesting.
dream that I was blah blah? Yes. Okay, good. That's why I'm so tired, because you dreamed of me doing all that last night.
Mhm.
We're going to be communicating a lot more like this with Neptune and Pisces for a decade and a half, by the way. Neptune's not in Pisces anymore.
Nope.
We just finished.
It's not. And when
We
you say things, I'm questioning myself, going, wait a minute.
question me, question me.
I
It's a
had to think and see it.
Nope, it's eclipse day. We just finished a decade and a half of getting into the Neptune Pisces style of what is real, because Neptune dissolves things, it obfuscates things.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is there an F in that word?
If you're saying to lie, to protect, like to say something to obfuscate, Keith says that word all the time. Hang on, I'm going to actually look at the spelling.
Good for Keith. I don't.
I know. Because I don't mean obscure. That's not the word I'm looking for.
Nope.
Yes. Obfuscate.
Okay, there it is.
Yes. I was putting the F on the wrong side of that word. Here we go. Obfuscate.
There it is.
Obscuring the intended meaning of communication by
Mhm.
making the message difficult to understand. Yes. That is, in fact, Neptune's job. And Neptune's now bringing that to Aries. And this week we have the conjunction with Saturn, which is going to be a really big signature for some of the woo weather ahead.
Mhm.
We got a bumpy April coming.
We do indeed. It
March is
feels like the way we're getting into all kinds of things. I'm like, I miss you, and I
I
want to
know,
talk
I miss you
about
too. I
the
miss you too.
ice stuff, and not, I mean, ice and ice, like little ICE and then big ICE and the whole Neptune thing. You can't make it up, the things that went down. I'm gonna
Nope.
do a whole thing on that, like a 30-minute. Here's what happened. The ice storm, da 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 da. When this happened, it moved into here, and then the pipe stormed up and started bursting, and then I mean,
For
all of it.
real. For real. If folks who are like, I can't get into the astrology podcast because of how long their monthly forecasts are, watch the first little bit each month because they do an overview of the last month and where the astrology lined up with everything that happened. That's always fascinating to me. And this next one will especially be good because February's woo weather. I mean, and we're not even in it all yet. We are right now. We have started the week of all the things.
Yep.
It's about to get so good.
Well, and then we have March, early
Well, and
March.
March is a little bit of a breather after the first little bit.
After the eclipse,
Yep,
and then yeah, and then April 24th, am I right about April 24th? Feels like when there's something in a safe
yeah.
and you have to go tick, 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 and then do the thing. It's like it's gone tick 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 and it's going tick 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 April 24th. Oh, now it opened.
Woo!
Right. And
What's
that's
in
not
there?
scary. That's just, you know.
You opened it now, bitch. The
Mhm.
fuck around and find out of it all.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm like, I keep reminding myself, you wrote a blog post years ago about the woo weather of 2024 through 2026. And you said things are going to get faster. Things are going to get really fast. Things are going to get really, 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 really fast. So when I feel like I can't catch my breath, I go, this is the fast that we were talking about.
And what I would encourage people to do, if this is your thing, is, with Saturn being a bit of structure and Neptune being an Aries, and Neptune can be about, yes, disillusion and all of that, but also creativity, some sort of that.
Absolutely.
Part of the way that I have just made sense of and even taking care of myself is to just go, okay, hey, I am creative. And you're creative, and encouraging other people to do those things because you're creating something, you're building something, and can be about other people and the collective, but it's about you. You're creating the thing.
That's the
And
Aries.
that's right. And then taking the initiative to do it. I think that's really going to be necessary to find
Oh,
joy and comfort and being in the moment.
Melissa,
What?
show me the jewelry that you've been making because I know, and I didn't ask permission to do that. Can you? It's amazing.
I made a website.
What?
I didn't even tell you what I named it. I didn't even tell, or maybe I did. You saw it. You saw it. So what I've started doing
I'm so happy.
is infusing some crystals and herbs into these moons and other things as well. This isn't laying right. So there's this and this I made as the Aquarius eclipse little piece of jewelry. So you can have these just like as altar
Yep.
pieces and also hold. Obviously, I'm wearing a necklace, but even these fun guys. Oh, and hold.
Dude.
I was super excited about these, and then they're like, my old ears are like sagging down. So
Yeah.
this right here, and then I'll shut it. This right here, I don't know if you can see it. This is the conjunction. This is Aries and Neptune and Saturn in there. And don't think I won't be wearing these on Thursday.
Yes, you will.
And also some herbs. I mean, yeah, and some herbs, but I can't remember which. I have all that in there. So I am super excited about making these little, and then just some fun, just for fun things too.
I'm just looking behind you. You have a whole like jewelry lab over there now.
It's a laugh. This is my creative, crazy, like the crazy professor with the.
Oh, but I live for it. Like the thing when you first texted me some images, I was just like, your fire so inspires me. And this is where I know I got a big old water chart. I mean, I also have an air chart, which means I talk about all the shit I'm going to build, but I don't build it like you with your fire. And it is so inspiring to see you go, let's do it. Like, and Aries is at the top of your chart. So, of
Yeah.
course, let's do it and let's do it for others. Let's do it for a business. Let's do it and then donate the proceeds to this cause. Like I'm just so completely
I'm
in
excited.
awe of your creativity.
And then when I put it out there, I was like, the other Aries thing is like this confidence. I was like, I don't know how to do this shit. I'm like, well, okay, I guess I'll just figure it out. And then also got ahead of myself, like, hey, y'all, I've got these things for sale. And my husband, who is, he's like thinking things through. He's like, well, what are you going to do? How are you going to advertise on, are you going to do e-commerce? And I was just like, please stop.
Not important.
Where are you gonna put them in? I don't know. I will figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. But I gotta get this stuff out there before this exciting new year. And I did it and I'm excited about it. And I'm just like, if these aren't great, it's honestly okay. And that's the Pisces stuff. Like I would be like just grinding these things down until they're smooth, and I'm gonna do a really good job. And I'm gonna take care of it because it's for other people in the service of other people. And also, I don't want to be an idiot about it, but I'm just like I'm doing it. I'm just like, this is the time to do it. And everyone has Aries somewhere in their chart. So where are you gonna do it?
So look at the Aries part of your chart, everyone, and know that this great conjunction that we're having on Thursday, Friday, Friday, on,
Thursday.
on the 20th.
Oh, is it on? Okay, good, because I'm flying on Thursday.
Yeah, let's go back over here and we'll go to one chart and we'll go to the clock. No, I want to only do one chart and have that chart be the clock. Apparently, it's not going to let me do that unless I do this first. Okay, fine. All right. So we are looking for the great conjunction between, yeah, it is on the, yeah, between Saturn and Neptune
Hmm.
on Thursday. No, Friday. Yep, there. That's it. Friday the 20th. Yeah, let's get minutes. Let's get Daddy Saturn right. Oh, shoot, we can go hours. We can go hours. And there she is. All right. Before noon Pacific on Friday the 20th,
Okay, so
we get 0 degrees, 45 minutes, Saturn and Neptune, with the moon having just passed over those bad boys. Oh, I love that. So that means that the moon is going to be
yep.
infused with all of that creativity, Neptune, and fired up, passionate, like, let's get this shit done, but we need structure to do it, Saturn. Because Saturn doesn't behave like himself fully when in Aries,
Hmm.
but he still is all about structure.
I just thought about something.
And how are we going to dissolve structure, dissolve Neptune? How are we going to dissolve structures, Saturn, that do not serve the individuals that the collective exists for?
Hmm.
I have ideas.
And in our country's chart, Aries is Aries in the first house.
In the Sibley chart, I think it's Gemini.
Oh, is it?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Let's come up with
Obviously.
more things to do. That's what I want to do.
Okay.
Okay, the Sibley chart. Oh no, Sagittarius.
Really? Huh. All right.
Yeah, Sibley chart. Sagittarius rising.
Mm. So Aries is in the fourth house. Let's see. Aries is in the, hang on, I can't see. Mm, mm, mm.
Let's see.
Aries in the fifth house. I cannot see, seriously.
Yes, yes, fifth.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to find one that's just done it simply.
Right.
So many, and everybody loves putting their own spin on things. I mean, which I love. It's great, but
I need to go back and study that. I don't know why I thought we had a Mars ruled chart.
no, it's
I mean,
Jupiter.
Sag
No,
makes
no,
sense.
it's got Mars. Where's Mars? Mars and Gemini,
Mm,
and the Uranus. It's the Uranus return of the United States here soon too.
it is.
Ooh, sugar. Sugar, sugar.
That sounds like my gran.
Saying sugar?
Sugar?
Ooh, sugar.
Sugar?
I could talk to you for 10 more hours.
I know, but people don't want to listen to that.
Sorry. If they made it this far, they want to hang out. They want to actually come to the next one of these like live.
I know.
And we love y'all for that.
Mhm. I've missed this,
I've missed this too.
but we're both doing some really cool
There's
things. There's so much.
right. We will continue. We will continue. I am not done with us having regular combos and sharing them with the world. That's not over.
Mhm. We just got other stuff to do right now.
There's so much to do. Support
Thanks,
independent journalism, y'all. They
Joni.
are FCC and the F out of networks and follow independent journalism because it's going to be real easy to get wrong information, especially coming up here in the next couple months.
You got so much to say. But
So,
I want to give a shout out to Joni.
Joni, thank you for your fabulous question and getting us going on this. Joni gave me the shirt. I'm wearing a shirt Joni gave me. So we are the granddaughters. We are the granddaughters of the witches they couldn't burn. You couldn't burn. Yeah.
There we go.
There it is. And I cut it up because Mars likes
Sure.
Mars likes it when we do cuts. Okay. There we go. I love you, Melissa.
Me too.
Thank you for this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, remember, still
Thanks.
eclipse protocol. Rest, hydrate, bubble wrap. None of that's changed. Just because we got together today does not mean we ignore protocol for eclipse season.
I haven't stepped over the threshold of my door
Good girl.
today. I was like, Bunny, what do I need to hide? Do I need to do a duck and cover?
Well, you see, I've covered my crystals. Like all my altars have like pillowcases on them. And like Keith's like, why is everything got a rag on it? I'm like, no,
You should know by now, Keith.
those are pillowcase cloths. Like, oop. And then I found a crystal that I was like, oh, this one needs to Keith, put it somewhere. And he's like, puts it in, tucks it in, covers it up. So sweet.
That I should be covering my stuff.
Well, because here's the deal. Eclipses infuse things with lots of energy that is intense and unexpected, potentially chaotic vibes. So because we like predictability, especially in our crystals, we don't want them to break or carry an energy that isn't what their intended use is. So for things that are especially porous, including humans, we want to rest, hydrate, bubble wrap. So part of my protocol for eclipse season is cover, like clean the altars, clean the tools, reset once eclipse season is over. But while eclipse happens, we don't charge the crystals. Now, obviously, if you're very experienced and you know the chart of the experience that you want, and it happens to include an eclipse, that's fine. Because it's okay to be an eclipse baby, right, Melissa?
Yeah, it is. That's right. Right smack in between them, closer to this eclipse that just happened.
Yep. There's an eclipse very near your natal because in my progress chart, I eventually get to that eclipse. Mm-hmm. See, even more.
Add it to the list. Add it to the list.
We're never done. Like this is what my mom said to me every time we hung up. I'm never done talking to you.
Oh, okay. We got to call it. We got to call it. I'm calling it. I'm going
Call
to
it.
Aries call it. Aries, Saturn and Aries. Knock it off.
We're done. Bye,
No more
everybody.
Cardinal.